He's going to talk to us about the 4th annual Wenatchee Valley Firewise Day. Please welcome Joe.
Thank you, everybody, for your kind attention. Thank you for that introduction, Mr. Toastmaster. As you heard, it's the 4th annual. Why the 4th annual? Because fires are an ongoing issue, and not only in the Wenatchee Valley, but all over the world by this point, you will have seen. What got it in my head to put together not one, but 4 Firewise annual events in our valley? I'll tell you, you all remember the Sleepy Hollow fire? 28 houses burned. We saw it from our homes. We saw the embers drift, land all the way across the river in East Wenatchee, landed in the cardboard recycling, set 3 commercial buildings on fire, including some that had ammonia nitrate, I believe it was, that could have resulted in further tragedy, explosions, injuries, and worse. 28 families lost their home that evening in about 3.5, 4 years ago. As I was standing there downwind of the fire and smoke, 1 mile away on the corner of Western and Maple, we were on a level 1 evacuation. No cause for alarm. Get your toothbrush, get your wedding photos, get your pet ready, get your medicines. I noticed that my next door neighbors had family members that came screeching up in their car, jumped out, ran in the house, grabbed the flat screen, a couple boxes, a couple of suitcases, and then screeched out of there like they were the only ones on the planet. And I thought, oh my gosh, we're on a level 1 evacuation, and people are panicking like that already. Now, as a risk manager, that's how I'm wired. My business card says insurance agent. That's a byproduct of my personality and skill set. I felt that I was relevant to a solution, but I didn't know how. And so I put my foot down literally and said, not on my watch. I decided to do something. I didn't know what that was yet. So I reached out to some resources of mine throughout my job at AAA Insurance Agency and contacted my good friend Al Murphy, who's a retired Type 1 incident commander, the big wildfires are the Type 1s. He was also upper management within the BLM, and he was the park ranger up there at Chelan for many years, including during the Tyee fire where he was a Type 1 incident commander. And I told Al I had this idea of integrating this Firewise program into the Wenatchee Valley community. And was that a good idea? And Al said, yeah, that's a pretty good idea. I said, well, I called and emailed Mike Burnett, our former fire chief, hired Brian Brett here. Mike didn't know who I was, but I used my little logo at the bottom of my email as a AAA Insurance Agency. Figured give me some street credibility, as they like to call that in gangland. And sure enough, Mike was receptive, and he agreed to meet with me for 1 hour. I prepared an agenda, had some talking points, brought my buddy Al, brought my buddy Mark Shipman, who everybody in Wenatchee pretty much knows, retired ER doctor, and man of many fun things to do, who gets hurt quite often, but just doesn't seem to care. I just wanted to have some credibility when I went down there, had my team backing me up. Yeah, this Joe guy's real. After meeting for an hour and talking back and forth and getting some ideas, I walked out of that meeting not really knowing what was next. But Mike Burnett shakes my hand and he says, you know, this is the 3rd meeting like this I've had since the Sleepy Hollow fires. And that's all he said. And what I thought was, Mike's time is important. I need to show my respect for what he did today. I'm going to take action. I then went down to Wildfires and Us, which was a conference held at the Performing Arts Center in downtown Wenatchee. There was Peter Goldmark, the head of the Washington State DNR Public Lands Commissioner at that time, as well as other ranking politicians. I believe Brad Hawkins was there as well. And during that forum event, Peter Goldmark said, I believe it's up to the insurance industry to lead the charge on this. And it was like somebody threw a dart and hit me right between the eyes. I said, I'm an insurance agent. I can do that. You're right, I agree. We need to solve this problem. And so from that, first annual Wenatchee Valley Fire Wise Day was born. My employer, AAA, threw down about $500. I got a couple of insurance companies, Mutual of New Claw and Safeco, to kick out cash. We decided to incorporate art because I had this idea, premonition, let's say, that somebody who lost their house in that fire was going to come down to the event gunning for the fire chief. And I have great respect for Mike Burnett. And I wanted to make sure that we had a diversion for people like that. So we set up these art tables where people could paint. So somebody like that came down, I'd say, hey, let's go talk about it. Let's sit down and paint what we talked about, what happened in your home, how you feel. Art has been incredibly important portion of the event. We're now on our 4th year. I have a volunteer committee, including PUD people, the Wenatchee Valley Museum, local artists, and some nonprofits. We met twice. The fire department was there as well. We have, this year, a marketing person who I'm paying money to market the event. We're on social media. There's been a PSA done on Sunny FM. We're going to be interviewed by Coho, and we're going to get Local-Tel to do the whole event. They're going to film the whole event and then edit it and put it on television. We're also marketing the STEM STEAM, so all the science, technology, engineering, art, and math teachers in Chelan, Douglas County, middle school, junior high, and high school, the tech school, and the college are going to get an invite similar to that, but customized for the teachers, inviting all the students down to ask STEM and STEAM questions. We have 8 volunteers confirmed coming down from Holville Tribal Lands that are going to be there on Saturday the 23rd. We're going to set up 5 different stations for youth activity. And they're going to teach grade school kids the Native American perspective on wildfires and prescribed fire. We also have, that's going to be the Local-Tel event room. We also have the boardroom in the back, the new small 45-person room. They're going to have 5 presentations: Era Megafires, Ready, Set, Go by Douglas County 2. The Master Gardeners are going to do a presentation. The mayor of Pateros is coming down to talk about recovery from the Pateros wildfire. And one of the Native Americans is going to do a 30-minute presentation to the adults on Native American perspective on wildfires. So this is a call for volunteers. I need an MC to run the 5 presentations. It's a 3-hour commitment, maybe 3.5 hours total, and a timer. I thank you for your kind attention. To date, we do have Mr. Steve Schwinn coming down as volunteer to do art at the event, and our own Brian Brett, Chelan County Fire District 1 Fire Chief, will be there in person. Thanks for your consideration.